Hello and welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is the next in my series looking at the armor changes in 9.9 or patch 9.9 World of Tanks. Today we are looking at the AMX 5100. On the right of your screen is a recording of Tank Inspector patch 9.8 AMX, and on the left hand side of your screen is a live version of 9.9 Tank Inspector featuring the AMX 5100. Changes to this tank are not substantial, however, they, in my opinion, it amounts to a nerf. And first of all, before it goes colorized, you can see here, this area here of the armor was quite sloped previously. I can't change the view of this, of course, because of the recording. But here you can see it's no longer sloped, if I get the similar angle. So it's basically a big flat, it's rounded, but it's flat armor. Whereas here we had some flat armor, but then this part here was sloped. So even though the armor's the same thickness, we're not going to get the same bounciness as we had before. So definitely a nerf in that tank. I'm showing you that now because it doesn't really show up very well in the colorized view. All right, so let's start the recording. And I'll try and just go through things a little bit. So the lower plate there is actually exactly the same thickness, and it's the same sloping as far as I can tell. The upper plate is also the same thickness and the same slope as far as I can tell at 90 millimeters. However, the beak of the tank here, is overlaid armor and comes up as 120. It's a tiny area. It's probably not going to make any difference. I don't think it even counts with ramming, but it's there. It's a minor change. This area here is the same thickness and seems to be the same sloping as it was previously. Moving right along, and now we can see here the stat. Actually, I might actually just go back a little bit so we can have a look at that part of the turret there. Okay, so see, we can see it is 90 millimeters and it is still 90 millimeters, but looking at it front on, I'm getting 90 here. But on the old recording, I'm getting 99 because it was sloping, which it's not now. So if that moves up even a bit more, it's ricochet just there, but it's not here. So I even went up to ricochet on the old one, but here you never get the ricochet. It just stays 92 the whole way. So definitely a nerf there. And the same thing here, looking right there where I've got the cursor there, it says ricochet. Here it says 110 mil equivalent. So definitely a nerf to this frontal I guess turret carriage. Yeah, it's definitely a nerf and will be much more easily penetrated in my opinion. Now, just having a look at this sort of section is pretty similar. It's still rounded, the cupola, and that's pretty good. It's still, giving you your 90 mils or whatever plus the sloping. So that area there, yeah, it hasn't really changed much. But what you can see a difference there is that if you look, you can see these areas here, which are only 60 millimeters. They are 90 millimeters in the previous tank. And they also, yeah, it's part of the actual turret, it's not part of the carriage. They're 90 millimeters, and they weren't showing on the previous model. They are showing on this model. Now, it may have been in the previous model, if you pointed your gun up, maybe they showed. I didn't think of doing that because I didn't know they were going to change it. But maybe, if you pointed your gun up, it showed. And probably would show more if you did point your gun up even on this one. But at the moment, when your gun's pointing pretty much straight ahead, actually let me just check because maybe I've got the gun sitting higher on this tank. Alright, so if your gun's low, it covers it. But if the gun comes up a little bit, let's see if we can get it to go where I want, will you? There. I think it is showing more than it was before. Yeah, I think it is. So that area there is only 60 millimeters and doesn't get a lot of sloping or angling, and so will be easy to pen. So if we want to know what that looks like with the colorized view, it's this under this cresty ridge here in there, and obviously, as we just pointed out, if the gun is pointing up, it's a lot more exposed. So that area there is only 60 mils compared to the 90 mils here, and that's what you want to hit if you can. Alright, let's continue this. I'm taking a bit too long, I apologize. Continue the recording. The areas around the mantlet here, the mantlet is a different size, but it's still 90 millimeters. It's still quite well sloped and angled, so I don't think that's really any change. As far as the side armor goes here, you can see everything's pretty much the same. even the armour values here are all the same. There's a little bit of a cutout now in the track, so you're losing a little bit of spaced armour from the tracks there. But the sides of the turret, the armour values are all the same. It just extends a little bit further back here at the frontal armour, which is good. Moving on to the rear of the tank, the armour value is the same. And the top deck, the armour value is the same at 20 mils. No real substantial changes anywhere else to the tank. So overall, I think it's a nerf to the tank's armour. Well, definitely it's a nerf to the tank's armour due to the less sloping around the turret and the exposed 60 mil areas. Alright, hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. Have fun.